We are the dead guys. We are the door guys. We don't give a shit about anybody. We are the door guys. We're the fucking door guys. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Woo! You heard him. We're the door guys.
And girl.
This is the new and improved Door Guys show after, what, like 2 years off? Couple years off?
Year and a half.
We tried to get one back. I'm Davis.
And I'm Vinny.
And you heard Jen.
I'm Jen.
That's Jen. Talked over.
Our new addition. Yeah.
And this is your main crew for Door Guys. We stopped doing the podcast because I had a child. And
he owns the equipment, so we couldn't do anything about that.
Yeah, and my baby needed it for her diapers, so we used that equipment for that. And now I'm back because she's 2.
She's out of diapers, so you can afford to record again.
Yeah, it just got tired being a gigolo, so I got to come back to work.
And your wife got tired of you being around the damn house.
And not making any money.
Yeah.
So I'm back at the Funny Bone, and Door Guys podcast is back.
And we talked about being back with our last one-off that we were going to do, and it just never worked out. So this one, now that we've got it simplified, we've got a solid crew, and we're not going to have to keep shuffling guys in and out and scheduling. And
The 3 old dogs of the club.
That's right.
I guess Katie too, but she's at the bar.
She can be a guest.
Yeah.
Co-host.
You could beat Katie up in a fight, I believe. So
Oh,
you
100%.
win.
I mean, she's scrappy. She's a redhead.
No, I agree.
I think I got
I
her.
just think at the end you would win,
For
so
sure.
you got the spot.
She can fill in
Congratulations.
when I'm on vacation.
Ooh, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
She'll be number 2 redhead.
We decided to bring it back in 2025 also because there's a big move coming. Our club's moving, and we have a real awesome lineup coming up.
Hell yeah. We're looking forward to that new club for sure.
I brought you guys a gift.
You did?
I did.
Oh, shit. I
How
don't know
long
anything
I
have
about
haven't seen you
this.
guys in a while.
How long have you been holding on to this?
I know,
We're
right?
here for like an hour.
I just got them in the mail. Oh, yeah. I've held on to them the whole time. These are some fruits for you.
Yeah,
These are called honey bells. They're
that
grapefruits mixed with tangerines.
Oh, really?
They're super good. It's flu season. I got a fruit guy, and so here you guys go.
Nice. They're
I missed you
actual
guys. They're honey bells, dude,
excuse
not
me, excuse
oranges.
Are these infused with anything?
No, it's just.
You mean like booze?
Or weed?
No, no.
No, these are real fruits, not.
I mean, they're hybrid fruits. It's a grapefruit mixed with a tangerine. They're super good. I've been pounding them every morning. I don't get sick. Look at me.
Thanks, Davis.
Yeah.
Man, we should have started the podcast up sooner. I like gifts.
That was so thoughtful.
I know.
Well, you gave me some meat stuff recently.
I did.
I forget the name of them.
Reloading.
It was delicious. I like the onion ones.
I was
so
gonna
had to
ask how
come, you know.
You liked Vinny's meat?
I did.
Everybody likes my meat.
He sauteed it for 8 hours.
That little New Year's Day family routine, and
Oh, what a tradition.
it is. Everybody gets to enjoy my meat.
That's right.
What better way to start the new year
Yeah.
than enjoying my meat?
I agree. Well, thank you for the gift. You guys
Yeah.
can bring me gifts every time we record. That'd be fine.
Well, yeah, that's my thing. I missed you guys. I'm happy we're back.
Oh, I'm happy we're back
I
too.
brought you guys fruits. I don't want to get sick from you. Eat that.
That's the
vitamin
other
C.
thing.
Yeah, it was an ulterior motive gift.
They're good
Next
on
time it'll
vitamin
be
C.
gum. The time after there'll be breath mints, then deodorant.
Wow. Okay.
And one of the reasons why we did bring Jen on as a co-host is we recorded an episode with her. And if you go to our YouTube channel, you can go back and see that episode. That is one of the few that are still up there. From like one of the early video recording ones. And we had
I'll work on getting
so much
them
fun.
all out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had so much fun recording with Jen, and we had such great chemistry in doing that one. And we, whenever Davis and I would talk about it, that one is episode we always went back to is like, we just had so much fun doing that one. We're like, it'd be great to get Jen on as a permanent host, but we could never figure out how to make it work. And now we do.
I also feel like you've done just about every job here. Maybe not kitchen, not door guy really, but you could.
Well, kind of.
Kinda.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
When
I guess that's true.
I tell you guys what to do a lot.
It's like
Whoa.
you had to do the door guy's job for them before.
Let's be clear to all the listeners. No one tells me what to do. I don't like being told what to do.
Not us, the new guys.
right.
So is the new guys.
Yeah,
She bosses around.
just the new guys. Yeah, no, I've never been in the kitchen. That's not a spot for me. Always-
Gets wild in there. That's for sure.
Yes, it does.
No, I like to be out here more. But yeah, serving, bartending, all of it. Managing.
MOD, yeah.
Yeah.
Done it all.
They let you handle the money. That means you're important around
I
here.
know, and I got a key.
Oh, shit.
I don't know where it's at right now. Tell Colleen.
I'm sure they've changed
It's all right.
the
She
locks.
doesn't really listen to these. I
Okay,
don't think she
good.
will know.
Oh, she's going to listen to the first one for sure.
Please.
So, since I've been gone, was there any crazy? You were still working. You didn't take time off. Was there any crazy happenings around here? I mean, I've been back for a little while now, and
I've been so sporadic. I don't.
Yeah, and I just do Thursdays now. So my shows consist of Clash of the Comics, Drag Night, and TikTok and YouTube dickheads.
so you see a lot of buttholes on Thursday nights.
Through all three sets of shows, yes.
Okay.
Those are the worst ones to work.
That's how Thursdays end up rolling. It's either
Yeah.
that or the shows get canceled.
Yeah.
Like we're recording tonight on a Thursday because there's no show, so I wouldn't be working tonight.
The TikTok social media thing's crazy to me because it's not even close to the same thing.
Yeah.
But they sell out. I feel like people think it's going to be like that when they come to see it, but it's definitely not. And to me, they usually suck. I don't know. I've never asked a fan of one of them, like, was that awesome to you? I wonder if it is or not, you know?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah?
Oh, they eat it up. Yeah, because again, I work those a lot, so I've seen a lot of the reactions. And
Well,
the
yeah,
people
but
love
like
it 'cause-
after the show, I'm talking about like when they're driving home, they're like, "Fuck, that wasn't worth $70."
Oh, no.
Fucking that guy
Oh,
sucks.
and what they're charging, you're right. Like it's
Right.
nuts.
Like that wasn't as cool as it is on TikTok. Like that's like I don't know. It's not. It's weird to me still, and it's been going on for years now.
Me too.
but we'll happily take them and their money.
What would they have done if fucking the TikTok ban would have lasted, dude? These motherfuckers.
Well, that you bring up a good point. Like we'll take their money, but also they're bringing in so many people that would not normally come into the club.
Yep.
So it is still weird to me, and sometimes I'm not sure how it translates from social media to the stage. Somehow they do it, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
not always.
I mean, I
Yeah.
would say
No, not
very,
always. I just-
very rarely.
Yeah, I mean
Not
sometimes because sometimes they're up there doing their TikTok skits
Mm-hmm.
and making us play videos and all that stuff, and sometimes they actually have material, and it's actually more like a stand up, and it's not so the social media is just their character, and they actually have an act and they present themselves that way, and those ones are good,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, a lot of times what they're doing on stage and what they're doing on their social media sucks.
I don't even have TikTok, dude. I've never,
Me neither.
Never
did
had
you
it.
work that Trailer Trash Tammy show?
She
Oh,
did.
yeah.
I
We
did.
talked-
What was-
we've talked about it a lot
Yeah.
on here.
What was hers like? I was
It
out
was-
of town because I actually really liked her.
So
It was awesome.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that kind of spills into the question. I'll put the for the
I was
lead.
gonna get,
Yeah,
for the
be
episode later.
Yeah. So I'll save that one for later. But
Okay.
yes, very much the Trailer Park Tammy one for sure was good.
Well, we can get into that shit right now and just put
All right.
put the other stuff, because all I have, I was just letting the people know why we're back, and then I had written down, I had that, but I also had, which is
Can
kind
I
of
just
tied in.
comment really quick
Yeah, of
that I
course.
love that you have a notebook where you write stuff in and
Mm-hmm.
not like a notes on your phone. And that just shows your age. And because I actually made a note on my phone today of like some of the notes I wanted to talk about.
Nice.
And then, but I love coming and seeing your paper
I'm a little
pencil.
I'm kind of a weirdo.
Davis is old school. It took him forever.
I'm a Renaissance man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It took him a long
That
time to
sounds better.
Bluetooth to the fucking roadcaster we got here.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
He didn't like the Bluetooth. We're
Yeah,
like,
I
dude,
didn't like the-
just click it. You,
you
don't
know,
have to
I
worry
was-
about the cable or nothing.
Let's use typewriters.
Yeah.
Typewriters.
Typewriters. Technology's hard. I get it.
No, I just like writing. I like writing stuff. That's how I always did it. I like my notes better than typing shit. Plus, I'm getting old. This screen. What the fuck?
It's tiny.
I'm glad it brings you joy. I also like to doodle, like when I'm thinking of topics and stuff. Like I can't doodle on my phone.
Yeah.
Like I like to draw weird shit. Yeah. Maybe a guy with a gun to his head or something.
Color in the margins.
There's your ADHD showing.
Amongst other things.
A little spectrum-y. That's okay. Let's keep going. See, now that I'm not a special ed teacher, I can do all the jokes.
You can say all the
and
stuff.
I'm more comfortable with it.
And because you have that special ed background, you can say those jokes because you had to deal with it.
That's true.
And I still work in the field.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel as gross when you talk about adults that way. You know what I mean? It felt gross about kids, but now I'm with adults.
And you work with a bunch of them at your other job. Here.
Totally. This job prepares me for all the careers I've had. I actually sometimes will start that out with tables if I walk up and they're like, oh, we're going to be a handful. I always used to say, well, I'm a special education teacher, so I think I can handle you guys. And if I can't, then you're right. You're a problem.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
Yep.
And when they said they were a handful, were they usually a handful?
No. No. There's nothing that compares to a middle school special education classroom. I can do anything.
Yeah, I
after
can
that.
imagine.
Yeah.
My sons were the worst when they were in middle school. That's the age.
Yeah.
Middle school, they were the worst.
Yeah, they're gross.
Yeah, they are gross.
My son's about to go to middle school, so lovely.
He's gonna be gross.
He's going to get gross and weird. Weirder than he already is. And as we can see, they don't grow out of it most of the time.
No, we don't.
I mean, that's true.
You're correct.
Yeah.
I recently was, because I've seen a couple people, sorry if I'm talking about you, that I graduated with, or even a dude that was like a few years younger than me at my high school, and they look way old, and I don't feel like I look old, like that old. Yeah. Obviously, my beard's gray and stuff. But I was like, I'm not aging as fast as other people, I feel like. And also I think that's because I just feel I think I'm 16 still. So it's just like, almost like a placebo. Like I'm just the ignorance, my body's just like, they're not old.
Yeah.
And then one day it's all just going to hit one day. I'm just going to wake up and look like I'm 90.
Listen, try being this age and dating and seeing dudes that are supposedly the same age as you, and you're like, there's no fucking way. You were born the same year that I was born. I
mean, you look young, too. You look pretty young, too. Like, we don't have wrinkled faces and shit. Like, sorry, people who do, but someday I will.
I attribute it to not having my own children. That's what keeps me young.
It will keep you young. But Davis had kids super young, so.
But Davis is great, and I'm not.
True.
I'm super gray.
So.
But I also play with G.I. Joe, so.
You still doing that?
No. Haven't done that in a while.
Say, because you were on
that was
that
a
G.I.
pandemic
Joe.
thing. I fucking freaked out, and I started collecting G.I. Joes.
It's on that kick for a while.
That was all right. I'm not as big. I still have a bunch of them that I collected during that time. I could probably sell them.
And he was buying broken ones so he could part them together.
Oh yeah, I was parting them together.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, I got this torso, it's good, and then I got this one with the right leg that's good, and this one with the left leg is good, and I know where I can undo the screw and put the rubber band up, and I can put it back together as one, and I can sell it for like $35.
This is why the mental health field will never go away, especially after COVID. COVID has made us so much money.
Well, that's good because my daughter wants to get into the mental health field.
Yes, she should.
Can I hire her?
Yes. She's only a sophomore in high school right now, but yes.
All right, let's talk more comedy. The topic that you were bringing up that I want to talk about is when one of the shows I worked recently, and I couldn't think of the guy's name, and it pisses me off because I know I should have researched more, but I couldn't find it because our schedule online goes away.
Yeah. Colleen has that paper one. You
yeah, I know. I didn't.
You and Colleen and the paper and pencil.
Colleen has those calendars all the way back all the way back to 2004.
Oh, yeah. And that's I thought great. About that, but when I was prepping for for doing this, I wasn't around her, so there wasn't any way to get that name. Anyway, sure. he was a Palestinian comic, and that was like the show. The crowd was a lot of Palestinians there was an old Jewish man there, and obviously everyone knows what's going on over between Israel and fucking Palestine. And it was a show that I was like, what the fuck? Like, I really was. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what kind of show is this going to be? You know, the guy was super nice. That's why I hate that I don't know his name. And the show wasn't that bad. He was funny. At the end, it kind of got a little more of like a TED Talk about shit, you know, equality, things like that, you know, the shit that you would think. But it was just one of those shows that I didn't think I would enjoy, but I didn't mind it, and that's what I was going to ask you guys, because here I feel like, especially in the last, like, maybe always, but in the last like 3 years, 4 years, we have a synagogue does a show here with the Sklar brothers, like, so it's like a Jewish show. We've had this Palestinian show. We have a little bit of everything. If you can sell tickets here, we're gonna have you here. The TikTok people, you know, whoever, Rob Schneider, who switched into some crazy like right wing guy. We have right wing shows. We have left wing shows. That Tyler Fisher guy, he's the short little comic. He's big. MAGA Trump guy. He was here right before the election. He was funny. He was a super nice dude. He gave me a hat, and one of our servers was like, why'd you take a hat? I was like, I don't know. He's pretty funny. And I thought that he, the whole time, was doing like right-wing jokes and stuff. And then at the end, his last like 10, 15 minutes was all making fun of Trump. It was like he hooked them in by saying what they wanted to hear because they loved it. They were like laughing, but he was blatantly like ripping Trump apart up there. And everyone's like, whoa! But they all were like in like MAGA, like Make America Great Again hats and shit. It was crazy.
It was crazy. I worked that show. And I mean, most of our staff are black ladies, and they were super uncomfortable with it. I remember that night they all like stayed in the side station most of it.
Yep.
Because not necessarily what he was saying, but to walk out to a crowd of people laughing at that shit as a minority, a person of color, like that, I couldn't imagine what they were feeling. But I do remember at the end then him making fun of it, and then it was like, oh, okay. Now I get what he was doing.
Right.
And I was like, I hope everyone in there feels like a asshole. Idiots.
I feel for the most part that the crowd still treats everyone the same. I know that sometimes for certain shows that, you know, people get nervous or not a fan of it, but we're still, I feel like nobody like freaks out or is a dick to those people. Like we're still include everybody, you know, we're still trying to make that money. You know?
Right. Yeah. It's all about, you know, if just because you don't like it or we don't like it or Colleen doesn't like it or the booker doesn't like it doesn't mean there's somebody out there that doesn't, that, you know, that does like it. And, you know, we want to entertain them as well.
And if we're going to have it, a lot of definitely enough people like it for you to be on our stage here and paying the bills for us, paying our checks.
I mean, there's been a lot of comics over the years where I'm like, I don't get it, but the room is laughing their ass off. So cool. This isn't a show for me. I'm happy they're enjoying themselves. I'm happy that guy's making his money. We're making money, and I'll just go do my job and get out of here when the time is
That's my
up.
all-time the Hollywood Swinger, dude, that I never understood. I couldn't understand.
The Midnight Swinger?
Midnight Swinger. Vegas
You didn't like the Swinger?
God.
I love the Swinger.
No. No, Vinny. I did not. I did not like his outfit. I did not like his hairdo. And then I couldn't understand, like, he's not playing instruments, but he's throwing guitar picks out, and ladies were standing up and catching them. And then
I never saw that.
Oh yeah.
What was it when he had
like
his
stomping
leotard
around?
on?
Oh yeah. Black leather leotard. And then I was standing in the back, and
the guitar picks had his face on it.
And I was still kind of new, and that's when it hit me, and I was like, oh, these people, like, love this shit. Like, I'm being a dick right now. Like, I fucking hate this shit, but it's not for me. It's for the people that are here. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And then I was a fan of him because he's doing his thing. He's making money. People love that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they did. They loved it. They loved catching a guitar pick from a guy who's not playing a fucking guitar. It's weird. It's weird.
Because he was putting on a rock and roll show.
Oh, that's a stretch, but
Yeah.
Okay, his character was putting on the rock and roll show.
Okay.
It was a karaoke rock and roll show that people liked to sing along with, and
they loved
they
it.
went along with it.
They
It was
love it.
it was an act. It was a show. It wasn't just straight up stand up.
No, it wasn't.
Set.
No.
And people went along for the ride.
No, they loved
the
it.
best was when you could tell people at that show weren't going along for the ride, and they were sitting in a corner all bummed out the entire show.
I thought this was going to be something different.
Like, this isn't what I paid for.
well, his name is the Midnight Swinger. I mean,
Yeah, they thought something
Yeah.
else was going on. Upside
they were
down
buying tickets with
pineapples.
something else.
I don't see any pineapples around here.
No one's naked yet.
Where's his
Well, I can see
handkerchief?
how that would be disappointing.
He's not wearing a bracelet. What color bracelets he got on?
I would be disappointed too, I guess. That's what I was
Thought you
going
were gonna
to.
get some, and you get this guy up here jacking around like a jackass for an hour.
He was one of those comics, though, that every 6 weeks or however, he
Yeah.
used to come all the time, and we
He
would.
did.
We're busy as hell every time.
See, I caught him on the end. I started working at the end of him coming here. I don't know. Maybe he's still swinging in the nights. I don't know.
He's switched up his name. He's now Mr. Showtime.
Oh, a rebrand?
No way.
Yeah, he rebranded. He's Mr. Showtime, and Colleen said he was been in Vegas a lot. Like he had a room
That
out
makes
in
sense.
Vegas somewhere.
That's a Vegas lounge act for
Yep.
sure.
Well, and he always said, I've got this Vegas. I want to bring some of my Vegas show to you, and then he would go into the songs and all that stuff like that. But yeah, he's not been like going out on the road as much. Colleen and I were talking about him not that long ago. So, because I was like, well, we haven't had him for a while. She's like, yeah, he's not been out on the circuit. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
I'm good with that. He should stay in Vegas.
No, I'm going to tell Colleen to request him.
Better not.
Like as one of our opening acts.
At the
Yeah,
new
at the new
club.
club. Can you imagine? What a show for the new club.
The soft open.
So mad right now.
And I'm going to get
So
you
fucking
a
mad.
matching jumpsuit
Hey.
or leotard, whatever it is.
Don't
that
you
he
hate
wears.
it that all the comics you love, like Ryan Sickler and stuff, that Colleen's pissed?
What is surprising to me is that her and I have really similar tastes
I
and
know.
thoughts and values.
I feel like there's
and
like 3 or 4 guys that
know.
she's like, nope.
she has put the Death Star on so many of the comics I love. It is disheartening. Because in all reality, I know that she was pissed about the whole travel thing with Ryan Sickler the first time when
Right.
he canceled, and I do get
But
that.
what, didn't he like almost die?
He did, but that's not why he didn't come.
Oh,
He almost
I
died
don't know.
another time.
I
yeah,
was sick.
there was a different time when he did get really sick. He actually is a really nice guy.
yeah. No, I
really
know.
nice
I
guy.
know.
And I know that if she would really like him if she could get over it. But sometimes with her, you got one shot.
Yep.
And
She got over Stanhope, and he was a crazy one.
He was fun.
I don't know Stanhope.
Doug Stanhope.
I asked about him a long time ago, and she was like, ugh. And then a story came out like he got the guy in Ohio, maybe Mitch.
Mitch or Stroop?
Yes, one of them. They got into it, and Stanhope called and left some message about like your kid should die, like fucked up shit. And so so he was like, what? But then he came through, and she was like super nice to him, and he was super cool. And I had asked her because I thought that guy was super funny, and he was. We took a picture with him. out
Yeah,
there. He
on
was
the patio.
awesome. He was awesome when he was here, but I could see him doing that and being a dick also. And everyone that was pissed about it probably should have been pissed about it. So,
It wasn't an unjust.
and I don't know all
pissed.
the details, so that's why I'm kind of being weird about telling this because I don't want to fucking say some shit on our first episode that gets us canceled.
Start some shit, get us canceled before we even get this sucker off the ground.
Doug Stanhope shows up at my house and lights me on fire when I'm sleeping.
I don't know that we have too many fact checker fans yet. So we might be okay for a couple episodes.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks.
Fair enough. And who knows? By the time this comes out, we'll have forgotten we even said this.
Oh, I 100% will
I
forget.
already forgot. So yeah, what show? Yours is Trailer Park.
So yeah,
Tammy,
one of them. I was
obviously.
thinking about this, and one of them was Trailer Park Tammy, because back then we were running clips of the comics and stuff before before the show. We'd show like the next 3 or 4 comics coming up, a little 10, 20-second clip that somebody else was putting together for us, and the clip that we had for her was just terrible. And I'm like, really? This is what we're getting here?
And she was all social media.
Yeah.
Like her and the I think the lady's name is Paige that does stuff with her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was
Her
like the
co-host.
popcorn. Like there's that famous video going around where she tripped with the popcorn in the movie theater, threw it everywhere. That was like set up. She like did that on purpose.
Yeah.
So like she was just like we were talking about earlier, she was a social media person too. So
Right.
Was the video they showed like of her skit? Her video.
I think it was some skit or something that it just I didn't think it was funny. And then when she came here, and yes, she was the character up on stage, and we talked about this before. When she came here, we were still at the tail end of the pandemic, so we only had 200 people in here. And the crowd roared so loud that it made our ears ring.
it was crazy.
It was like a monster truck rally. It was insane.
Wow.
And when I got here, her and her crew, they were all the nicest people ever.
They were super nice.
Super, and one person that like obviously she doesn't act like that. You know, she's not Trailer Park Tammy off stage.
Right.
You know, and I think people know that. I think she has a podcast and stuff.
She
Like
does,
he
it's good.
said,
Chelsea.
she was out there fucking like a wrestler with her cut off shirt. Like you could see her through that diamond window, dude. And when she came in here, everyone was like,
It was crazy.
it was fucking crazy. And to think back on it, I don't even know if any of her jokes were funny. It
They
was
were.
just the energy of the room. I know that like I enjoy some of her videos and things like that, and I think she's funny. I just don't remember that night if anything was funny or not, because she was still pretty new at that point.
Right, and that's what I did enjoy about it, is that she did some of the skit stuff, you know, as the character, which was funny. But then she did, you know, like tell some stories and stuff, you know, just of her life and on the road and things like that, and it was funny. And I remember laughing way more than I thought I was going to. I thought, oh, this is going to be terrible, and I enjoyed it.
Well, I think working here for as long as we all have, that transition from stand-ups to the social media stand-ups was a hard one for me. I was not in it at first. I was because to me, I didn't understand how those skits and videos are going to translate to a show on stage. I was so traditional with just a stand-up, and so there was a lot of shows I was apprehensive on, like, okay, good luck. Like, I don't know how that's going to work. But I would say, is it Country Wayne? Courtney, how do you say
Country.
it?
Yeah, Country Wayne, yeah.
I'd watched some of his videos before he came, and I was like, there's no way this is
I forgot he started as a social media
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no way. And then I worked the show, and he was so funny. Very funny. That was
He is super
pleasantly
funny.
surprising to me.
I forgot because he's so funny that because I don't associate even that Ty Walsh was opening for that Noel Muller, who's a big time social media YouTube podcast guy, and he's pretty funny, super nice dude. But I didn't think like he should be like. I think he was starting to do arenas and shit because he was so fucking like popular. Yes, it's all off of doing YouTube, just like those Paul brothers. That's what they fucking did. But I guess they're not into doing comedy as much as everybody
Who are you
else.
talking about? The Logan?
The boxer guys, yeah.
Those fucking knuckleheads.
But that's how they started was doing videos like that. Just like all these other fucks. That's how they started.
Right. Yeah.
Like I saw it when he was getting ready to fake box Mike Tyson as they were showing him oh, our dad bought us a camera, and then we started jerking each other off on YouTube and shit. And then everyone loves us. And then they hated us, and then they love us, and now they hate us. Like fucking they'll probably be doing comedy next.
I hope not,
God,
because you know that we'll take them because they'll sell out, especially at the new club.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, that crowd would suck.
Oh God, it'd be brutal.
No.
Let's not think about that.
Oh, I'm not telling anyone to be quiet during that shit. They can handle it. They have a crew of guys.
And you guys talk about that Country Wayne. You know, I worked that night too, and I don't remember his set. I don't remember it being I don't remember it being terrible, but I don't remember it being particularly funny either. It just, I don't know if it didn't hit. I don't remember the jokes. I remember up until, and I remember working that night, but that's not one that sticks out in my head of, you know, either way.
Yeah, no, I don't even know what his videos on social media were very, to me, they were like just really cheesy and set up and fake. And I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work. And I was standing over on that side of the side station, just scrolling on my phone because I knew I had already convinced myself I'm not gonna like this. And then I heard something, one of his jokes. I couldn't remember any of the jokes. I just remember being like, huh. And I creeped back into the showroom, and then I watched it, and I was like, he's funny.
Oh, he hooked you with one joke?
Did,
yeah, nice.
Yeah. Yep, pleasantly surprised.
Just needed the one to get you in.
You know, it only takes one.
And you happened to be there at that time because you could have been, out at the bar or anywhere. It's funny how, when you were walking through and how we can get pieces of a show and that's how we were using to determine whether we like these people or not. Because we're not sitting down watching this entire show. Right. And, because we've been here so long, it's like, okay, you get the first 5 minutes while I'm in the room after you hit the stage, wow me. And then, we'll come back in maybe 20, 25 minutes later, get a couple more minutes out of it. And then, if you can hook me, cool, then I'll stay and watch the rest of the show. But if not, then, I've got other things I can go do, or I don't want to be in here because I would rather go out and talk with Davis.
Yeah. There's sometimes I was, while you were talking, last Friday I worked with Steve Trevino. I keep wanting to call him Lee Trevino, he's a golfer. But it was Steve Trevino, and I don't think I saw one joke just because it wasn't on purpose. I was just running tubs, then out there talking, then in the office, then, maybe eating. Like, I don't think I was in the showroom, and some Friday nights are like that. I don't even see the show.
Yeah, and that's just the busier shows.
But if it's someone that I want, like Jordan Jensen or someone that I've been looking forward to see, I'm making sure that I see that shit.
Oh my God, she's so good.
My favorite. She's been my favorite for so long.
Who? I don't think I saw that. I don't think I saw
that. Jordan Jensen.
She was that the Democratic girl or the person that went to the Democratic National Convention?
No. I don't think so. No.
That was a person that had the same first and last name letters.
That was here?
Yeah.
I don't know. She had she opened
Jordan
for
Jensen.
Louis C.K. a long time ago when he first came here. She opened, and at that time she was dating a comic from here that moved to New York, Jack Comstock.
What?
Yeah, they were dating. They were dating back then. That's one of the reasons she came with Louis for sure.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh yeah, no, his parents came. Oh yeah. And that was whatever. That was years ago. And then when she just came here as a headliner, and I did sound on that Friday night show, and Jack was the opener, and then I forget who the feature. Maybe he was the feature. Maybe. You
guys, I was the green room server that whole weekend because I'm obsessed with her.
Really?
So I told Colleen I got green room this weekend. I had no idea. Her and Jack were in there the whole.
Oh yeah.
This is blowing my mind right now, you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they were dating now, right?
No, not now. No. Not now.
Yeah.
No, before. And my first interaction with her ever, and I'm super it's someone that I was super excited to talk to and meet just because it was I enjoy her comedy. As I went in, and she has a little dog that looks like a mini coyote, and its name is Coyote. And right when I walked in, she turned it around and lifted its tail and was like, "Is Coyote's pussy big?"
That's that girl?
Yeah, before anything. And I looked at Jack, and I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess. And then he started laughing. Everyone started laughing. I was like, oh, God, this is going to be great. And then she started doing that. Every time she went on stage, that was the first thing. She would take the dog up and then do that on stage and then give it to Jack, and then the dog would be out. Coyote would be out of it.
Wow.
Wait. You told me about your interaction, but she went on stage, and the first thing she said to the crowd was, "Is my dog's pussy big?"
Oh yeah.
Well, because it was on its period.
No, not my dog, Coyote. It's
Yeah,
Coyote.
the dog was on it. The dog was on her period.
Oh Jesus!
On meds and stuff. Yeah. No. Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. And she does a lot of crowd work, which I like. Obviously, I love Ian Bagg.
Oh yeah. So excited we're getting him back soon.
She's a New York comic, so that's why she's good at doing that shit. And she's a fucking maniac. She's a fucking maniac.
No, you mean the first words out of her mouth is "my dog's pussy big" makes her a maniac?
Well,
okay, now I hate to admit how much I relate to this shit she says on stage.
Right. Right.
Because I did, and that's why I liked her before, because she had a lot of clips of just talking about how shitty dating is and how crazy. Our chick brains can get when we date, but also how crazy you guys are. And it was just so relatable to me, and in such a funny way. So I was so excited to meet her, and she was the nicest person.
Good.
So awesome. So awesome. Well, when we have a chance at some point maybe to get Jack on this podcast so we can ask him about it.
That'd be great.
This is rocking my world. I did not know any of this info.
I know, right?
Good dish. I should do a little more research next time.
Meh.
Well, and then on her podcast.
Well, how would you know? I mean, it's not like you can go
How
to
did you know?
Wikipedia and
Oh, I know.
he knows things.
I know all kinds
He
of
knows
shit.
people.
I'll just come to Davis for the tea next time.
Yep.
I just listen. I just sit back and listen.
Like
I
a
know
wallflower?
everything. Yep. Well, then I listen to her podcast a lot, and she talks about like people she's dated or tells a story. And I'm like, I wonder if that's fucking Jack.
Well, now I'm going to totally
One
wonder.
time she told a story, and just because I know where he worked out there, I was like, oh, that was Jack for sure. I'll tell you after the show. I don't know
Okay.
if I should say it. On
Okay. Well, if she said it on her podcast.
Yeah,
I
but she
guess
didn't say it
you're-
was. She didn't say it was Jack.
his name.
Though.
She didn't say his
okay.
name though.
All right.
I will tell you.
Don't let him forget because he will.
I'll
you-
forget too, so you remember.
Be like, hey,
If you're
gonna
listening to
tell
this
her
and you want to know, that's $50 on Patreon. Just kidding.
I bet you Georgia will be the first one to do it. Be like, what was the story? Georgia's Jack's sister, by the way. She's also in comedy.
Their podcast is hilarious.
Oh, it's so crazy.
Yeah, two P's. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Go check that shit out.
It's so good. I wonder if it's good to people that don't like
Know them?
know them. And I don't know
I
them
think
on
so.
a real personal level either.
Yeah,
but
me either. I
just
just
know
love
of them, yeah.
And just knowing their personalities and watching them is like, oh my God.
I mean, you watch them go from open mic comics to what they're doing now. So
Yeah.
Well, and just because I know him, like his on all their clips, and maybe they do it at the. Jack's always like, it's in the bag. That shit makes me laugh every fucking time. Good job, buddy. Every time.
but you wonder, but you know, you make a good point. Is the in the bag? It's in the bag. Is that funny for
Yeah, yeah,
everyone,
right.
or is it like Nick Allen's Broken Wings, where it's only funny to certain people?
Totally.
Well, he did something too when he used to. We'd have to shout out, whatever Summertime Village or whatever the comics. say
Cambridge
at.
Villas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The comics would have to do that on stage. Nick would do it, and after he would say it at the end, he'd go, yeah, every time. And I don't know if he knew he was doing it, but it would make me laugh so hard every time he'd say it, and then he'd be like, yeah.
Oh yeah, when he do the
He'd be like,
fake
yeah.
clap, like, yeah.
Every time he'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, what? It was great. It made me laugh so hard every fucking time. No one else probably noticed it in the whole crowd. It's those little things because we work here, so many shows in a weekend sometimes. That It's like that little shit.
Oh, there's nothing makes me happier than when a comic is up there and they're, adding a tag or they're making up something and then they actually laugh hard at that thing because it was funny, and hearing their actual laugh, not their stage laugh, or not, I told the joke, now I'm laughing at it because it's a funny joke and I'm getting you to laugh. But when they say something and they genuinely laugh, that makes me the happiest because I'm like, oh, they thought of
Cracked
that. It's
themselves
new.
up.
And they crack themselves up, and that cracks me up even harder.
That's what drew me to Ryan Sickler in the beginning.
Oh, his laugh is
His
crazy.
laugh
yeah.
is crazy. Yep. He does that a lot too. And you can tell the difference.
Between
His real laugh and yes,
the
you
stage
can.
laugh and the real laugh.
Yep.
I would agree with that. I'm a big Ryan Sickler fan too.
Yeah, I know he has a podcast, and I've, never listened to it.
Well, back long ago when I worked at Creighton University and first got into podcasts and decided, I should go hang around comedians and comedy clubs and shit. That sounds like my people. I was listening to his podcast. It was called The Crab Feast with this other dude from Baltimore. And it started out with maybe 3 or 4 of them, but it ended up just being 2, and it went on forever. And then they must have went their separate ways and did, but it was hilarious. It was a big time podcast. But I've been listening to that dude forever. I feel like him and Jay Moore, those were the 2 that I started with long ago. And then obviously fucking everyone that listened to podcasts listened to Joe Rogan's podcast at some point.
That's where it blew up.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, I don't listen to Joe Rogan's podcast.
I mean,
Me
that's
neither.
good. If I do these days, I'll pick I'll read I don't know who this guy is. And if it's some scientist that's talking about something that I want to learn about, then I'll do it because I don't really care what he fucking says about shit.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, well, that's
You want to hear what the guest has to say?
Yeah, yes, yeah. I want to hear what I like. I like when he interviews smart dudes because he is just like a dumb, ape man.
Yeah,
like myself, asking smart ass dudes like stuff that he's interested in. So I enjoy those. I think it's ridiculous. Like, you had Trump on there, like, oh, he helped win the election. Dude, this dude is a comedian. Why are any of you listening to anything this guy says and taking it like as a wholesale thing? Like, just like he personally says, I'm just a fucking dude that's like interested in things, and that's what I do is I just ask questions, and that's why I don't need to hear like certain people on. There's sometimes I'll turn it, I'll listen to it when it's like Ari Shaffir and Shane Gillis. They do like a Protect Our Parks one. Because those dudes are funny, but other than that, I don't listen to it that much. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts anymore, really. Too fucking busy with the children's.
I don't have the time, and when I'm at work, I'm always in meetings,
right.
and when I do listen to a podcast, like I want to focus on it and pay attention to what they're saying. I don't want a podcast as background noise. I'll put music on as background noise, but when it's a podcast, I want to actually listen to it. Like. I watched a few episodes of the Consumers podcast with Sean O'Brien and Greg Warren and Tim Convey, and it's great, but I couldn't put it on in the background because I wanted to focus on what they were saying. So
that makes sense.
I don't have time for podcasts. I'd love to. There's a bunch of them, Bert's and all kinds of comics that come through that have podcasts. Like, oh man, that'd be a great podcast, but I don't have the time.
See, I'm the opposite. Working from home now, that's all I have on in the background are podcasts. But I have a regular, like, what I do every week, and I know when they come out, who's on, if I want to listen to it. But I do need some new ones.
But
if you like Jen and Vinny, you should listen to this podcast.
I'll never listen to my own voice.
No, not you, the listeners to that. We're telling the listeners not to listen to podcasts.
Don't be like me. Be like Jen.
Oh yeah,
put it on, throw it in the background, and if you listen, if you focus on it like me, great. And if you just kind of listen like Jen, then that works too.
They like my smooth, deep voice while they work,
and your high pitched girly laugh.
Oh yeah.
And your grumpy old man mentality.
Yeah, I am getting grumpy these days. It's all right.
It's okay. I find myself not liking loud noises anymore.
Oh,
it's like a sign of
scary noises, or like
you would hate my house.
Just loud noises. I think since I quit teaching, my tolerance for literally anything has gone so low. I have like the lowest tolerance, and I have a neighbor who takes their dog out like 3 or 4 times a day and lets their door slam, and it like shakes the walls. It scares the fuck out of me because I'm just sitting there quietly with my podcast on, just working from home, and I like, just loud noises. I'm like, why is it so loud in here?
Well, why she got to slam that door?
That's what I'm saying. She's older than me.
Is it spring loaded where she can't control it? It's a heavy fire
door,
and she's
an old lady.
Too weak to hold the door open?
No, it's not. It's just a heavy door, and if you don't like guide it shut, it'll slam.
Well,
but no one else does
she's
it.
just letting it slam.
Maybe she's afraid it'll break her arm when it
lazy.
goes to shut.
Stop making excuses for her. It's so loud. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it.
That's why I hate apartment living, man.
Well,
I know, you have to sometimes, but fuck apartments.
it gets the job done.
This is what's going to happen is you're going to keep pushing this down inside, telling us, and then one day you're going to go and knock on the door and be like, what the fuck, man?
No.
She's going to slam her door like 5 times like a parent to a teenager.
Last week I said, I literally screamed out, quit slamming the door!
You think she heard you?
That's awesome.
No, well, I don't know. If she did, she's still doing it. I was on a video meeting.
It didn't work.
I was on a video meeting last week, and they heard the door slam. They're like, my sister-in-law was like, what was that? Because it's just me that lives there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's my fucking neighbor. That's how loud it was.
No.
Damn.
You played it all. When it slammed, you should be like, oh, shit, someone's in my house.
Gotta go.
Ran out of the screen.
I'll keep that for next time.
Yeah, right?
That's
That's a
good.
good one.
When you're tired of the meeting,
I could have used that this morning.
use this shit to your advantage, Jen.
All right, I got it. Mental note. Yeah, loud noises. What else irritates me now as an old person? Everything.
Yeah, because you're so old.
Wait, am I the youngest here?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're the baby on the podcast.
Oh,
That make you feel good?
yeah.
Good.
It did. Made me feel real good.
Well, let's wrap up the show with something you like. Where are you traveling to now?
yeah.
I don't have a song, but I want to do the Carmen San. Where in the world is Jen San Diego?
I think you just did it. We throw some music
We
behind
should've
that.
recorded that on the
Done
board.
it, done.
That was
we
perfect.
can clip that out.
You've got an angel voice.
Voice of an angel.
I
I'm
always
actually leaving for Curacao in like 24 hours. I'm leaving.
like the booze.
Yeah, that's where it's made.
Really?
A lot of baseball players, a lot of Atlanta Braves baseball players. A guy who just got screwed out of the Hall of Fame, Andrew Jones, was from Curacao.
Really? I've never even heard of this place, and you're saying that there's baseball players from there.
Oh, yeah. I want her to bring me back
I was just
about
going to
a
say this last time we
12-year-old boy who's good at shortstop, rocket arm.
last time we were talking about it, he's like, can you bring me back a 12-year-old boy that plays baseball? And I was like, I'm not going to get flagged at all. Some white lady leaving Curacao with a 12-year-old.
That probably happens like every day there.
Hey, not just any 12-year-old. He has to be able to field the ball and throw the ball.
Listen,
Test him out first.
I'm
Don't just
not
bring back the
scouting
wrong
for
one.
12-year-olds while I'm there.
You can sit on a bucket with a slingshot and shoot bottle caps. If he can hit them, fucking boom. Coming home.
No.
Coming home.
Oh God. So yeah, I'm going there. It's a little Dutch-owned country in the Caribbean, really close to South America.
Huh.
Yeah,
Do you need a passport to go there, I'm assuming?
you do. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Never even heard of it. Have you been there before?
No,
Oh,
I've just
okay.
seen pictures.
You're excited to go, obviously.
Very excited.
Are you going by yourself? Is this a 90-day fiance type thing? or-
We know it's not a scouting trip.
Well, not for 12-year-olds.
Hey, we should probably watch what we're saying here.
We
I
said
take
it's
back
not,
everything I said.
Not a scouting trip.
This is not a scouting trip. This is a work trip. No, it actually is. It's my work bonus for
Wait,
Christmas.
what?
Bonus.
Oh.
Your work gives bonuses to go to different
to
countries?
Curacao?
All right.
Yeah, and I got to bring a +1.
What?
Yeah,
No way.
Nice.
That's awesome.
yeah. So my best friend is coming as my +1, and then, well, my other best friend Tracy is my boss, who's my sister-in-law.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
her and my brother are going, and then her sister, who was a teacher, also quit last year and is working full time with us now too. So her and her husband are going. So it's 6 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're going to write the whole damn thing off.
Yep. The whole entire thing from start to finish.
Just talk a little business on the beach and say, yep, we talked.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, the listeners don't know, but you do travel a lot. That's why we will do this segment. Do you only go to islands? I feel like you only go to islands.
I can tell you she goes to other places.
Okay.
I go
'Cause
to-
I feel like your last trip before this was Hawaii. Is that, yeah?
That was
Okay.
in October.
I would have never came back, probably.
That was the hardest one to come back from because it was the most modern country that's tropical that I've ever been to, right? So it was like all the comforts of home,
Oh, yeah.
but so beautiful and hot and beachy. I mean, the vibe was awesome. That one I cried. I cried when I came home.
No way.
Oh yeah.
On the plane, too, like on the way home?
I was so sad when I got home from that trip. I've never been, like you said, I travel a lot. So it's not like I'm not
Sure.
getting these experiences often. That one was really hard to come home from. So, but no, this is Curacao next. And then in March, I think, I'm going to Minnesota. No, Minneapolis.
Whoa, we're getting ahead. We're getting ahead.
Yeah.
Let's save that segment.
That's a teaser. That's a teaser. That's a teaser.
That's a landlocked place, is all I'm saying. I don't only just go to tropical places.
It could be an island in Minnesota. There's a lot of lakes.
Listen,
That doesn't count.
I travel a lot with my sister-in-law, and we like tropical places and also bands. So a lot of the time, our travels take
That's
us to
awesome.
where our bands are at. Not our bands, but the bands we like to watch.
Jimmy Buffett.
Rest in peace.
The ghost of Jimmy
Yeah,
Buffett.
the ghost of Jimmy Buffett. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I always know when Jen is going on a trip because I will see her here at the Funny Bone more often.
That is true.
And for a while, it was always, oh, Jen, you're back. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to such and such. And, oh, cool. And then I wouldn't see her for like 3 months. And then she'd be back for a couple of weeks. Like, oh, are you going somewhere this time? And the answer was always yes. So I'm like, oh, so this is actually, okay, so we only see Jen when she's going on a trip. And then she's been here a lot more lately because she's been going on a lot more trips.
Yeah.
So we should have plenty of stories of pre and post trips to regale you with.
Well, now that you have a hit podcast, you're gonna have to go make. You'll have to make stories when you're on vacation.
Do things for
Don't
the
get
story,
too crazy.
Jen.
Don't get arrested. We don't have money to bail you out yet.
We don't have bail money.
There will be plenty of stories, I promise you. I've already told you one from Jamaica.
Yes,
that
you
was
did.
a good one. So there's never a lack of entertainment on these trips for sure. But yeah, no, that has been, everyone knows when they see me and they haven't seen me for a while, where's your next trip? Where are you going? Where are you going this time?
And it's always somewhere. You never just come back just to come back, or you never, unless there's a particular comic that you really want to see. But then you're only here for like that 1 week out of like a 6-month stretch,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, she was just here for that comic.
Well, after being here for 17 years, it's nice to be able to have that.
17.
Yeah.
That's how long you've been here. Damn.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I started in 2007.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
What's
And
your
then-
number at?
August, I was at 20, so I'm 20 and a half now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm at like 8 or so, maybe more than that, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, you're probably close to 10.
That's what I'm thinking. What the fuck?
Yeah. You know, and I was telling, we went out to dinner on Sunday because Wesley had a hockey game down in Lincoln, and his team, they went out for a team dinner. And so I was talking to the coaches about working here and working so long. And I said, you know, some of the reasons for working here, and you guys will attest to that, is Colleen is the big one.
100%.
And
Yes.
and you know, the comics, and you know, seeing these people come through and becoming friends with these comics, and the famous ones, you know, like when TJ Miller comes back and not only recognizes you, but then knows your name and all this like that. You know, you got all these other big names that continue to come through. You know, that's a great feeling. And then, you know, and then the staff that's here. I mean, right now we got a pretty good staff to work with. You and I have both been with some pretty shitty sets of staff where it's like, man, I don't want to go in there and work with any of these assholes.
Not naming any names on the first episode, but
Yeah, we can reveal those as we go along.
Stay
$50 on
tuned.
Patreon. You get one name.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100%. Colleen is definitely the sole reason I'm still here. Everything else is definitely a bonus. But I think the other thing too is watching the comics get famous.
Yes.
Right. So like Nate Bargatze,
Right.
it's so cool to see
So
him
awesome.
succeed right now because he's been coming in since I started. I mean, he's been coming in for however long I've been here.
Yeah. Well, I tell the story about we worked. You and I both worked Burt shows where the room was half full.
Right.
There's 150 people in there for a Burt show, and it wasn't just like one show. It was like multiple shows
And
throughout the weekend.
Tom, same way. Yeah. Mhm.
And then now they're selling out arenas,
Yeah.
going on tours and cruises.
Yeah,
and
it's cool.
Everything. It's great to see them like that. It's a bummer that we won't get them back here unless it's a thing like Nate Bargatze.
Right.
But very
We
happy
had
for
Bert
them.
within the last year. We had Bert.
We did.
He rolled through for one night.
No,
No, it was a couple
it
nights.
was a couple nights. I thought it was like 2 nights.
I think it was
Yeah,
2.
because I think he was getting ready for Fully Loaded.
Yes.
Yeah, and when he's getting ready to film a new special, I think shortly, like a month or 2 months after he was here. So yeah, that was.
Well, then
And again,
with-
that's because of Colleen. These people come here to
Right.
test this stuff out because they can get a club. They know they can, get a good crowd because they love Omaha. I mean, when they say it, they're not just blowing smoke up our ass. They really do love the crowds here. And,
Well,
they
yeah, they're
love
coming
Colleen.
to a room of 300 people, and they're
Yeah.
doing 1,000-seat arenas. Like they must,
Tens
they
of them.
must love Col. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what a cool show. And then I feel jaded and an asshole sometimes because of Nate. Everyone's asking me for tickets.
Yeah.
And then they'll like talk about it or chat. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I've seen him a bunch of fucking times.
I know, right?
What's the big fucking deal? Like, yeah,
Nate?
he's awesome. I know. And I'm like, oh, this is like the best thing ever to everyone else.
'Cause
Yeah.
they've never
I'm
worked
just
with
a
him.
dick because I work in a comedy club. It's a unique job, and fucking everybody else is like, whoa, let's get me tickets.
And
I
we get
can't.
paid to be a dick. That's I always say.
True.
We're security. I get paid to be an asshole, and I'm good at my job.
Yeah, this is the only place I've ever worked where a customer, I'm not coming back. Fucking good.
Yeah.
You were disruptive, and we would not enjoy you to come back.
we
That's why you were
prefer
being
that.
asked to leave.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
your money will be missed.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No, I don't know if you guys saw Nate when he was here last year at the CHI Arena, which is what, like 19,000
Right.
seat
Yes.
arena.
Yes.
And he had several shows that weekend. All of them were sold out. And the first thing he said after he got on stage was talking about how great Omaha was, how great, literally named Colleen by name, how awesome it is, like how lucky we are to have her. And I remember sitting there texting Colleen, like, because she was out of town, she couldn't go. And I'm like, oh my God, he just shouted you out. Like, first thing he got on stage and said it. It was cool.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. And Bert did the same thing as I went to when he recorded his, I don't remember which special, but he recorded the one in Omaha at the Orpheum. And he, again, also shouted out Colleen by name and how great she was.
That's so
and,
awesome.
Yeah. It gave me chills. It was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For sure.
That's awesome. Should we get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, I think
All right.
so. That was a lot of fun.
You guys enjoy your fruit. Thanks for
I was
coming.
Yeah,
gonna say,
thanks for
I
the fruit.
got
I'm
some
looking forward
hybrid
to-
fruit to dig into.
I'll probably have to text you again later what the name of it is because Jen's going to ask, and I'm going to say, I don't know, an orange.
Yeah.
But
well,
then Davis will yell
a
out.
honey bell.
Honey
Honeybell.
bell.
Honey bells.
Honey bells. Look them up, honey bells.
Honeybell.
Enjoy them.
We will. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep. Later.
Oh, you can get that outro?
Maybe. I hit the other one. Later, everybody.
Listen to the dog eyes! The motherfucking dog eyes! Talking about the big slab! Banana, banana, banana!